All right. So again, a nice little review here of fractions. All right. Now, question number one. Remember, the key whenever you're adding or subtracting fractions is to get a common denominator. And again, what is the common denominator here? 12. Is everybody happy with that? Right. So we have to convert them, right? So 1/12 plus 3/4 is how many twelfths, guys? 3/4 is how many twelfths? 9/12, because we're going to multiply the denominator by 3, multiply the numerator by 3. Is everybody happy with that? Now remember, it's much easier to ask me questions on number 1 than later. Anybody have any questions with that so far? And so now, what's 1/12 plus 9/12, guys? 10/12. And then, of course, we reduce it to what? 5/6. Is everybody okay with that? All right. Now again, remember, please ask me a question immediately if you're not sure about something. All right, it's been a week, guys. Is everybody comfortable so far? All right, that's pretty good then. All right, I feel good. All right, let's check out number 2. Kind of the same principle, except this time instead of adding, we're what? So we're going to get a common denominator, which is 8, right? So I have to multiply the second fraction by what?
Second one,
That's,
5/8,
yep.
4/8.
5/8 minus 4/8 would be 1/8. Now again, I keep trying to make myself clear here, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? All right, guys, speak up now. Again, we're getting a little bit harder now, all right, because we got positives and negatives. Positives and negatives. Again, this time, Sebastian, common denominator is what? 15. So let's write negative 14/15 plus 1/5 is how many 15ths? 3/15. Now you have to be careful because it says add, but the first fraction is what? Negative. So do we really add them? No, we're going to subtract. So if you have negative 14 plus 3, your final answer is? Now is it 11 over 15 or negative 11? Yes, negative 11 over 15. Negative 11 over 15. Any questions or concerns? Questions or concerns? Yes, sir.
So instead of adding negative 14 plus 3, you would just subtract.
You understand why,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yes, because I always try to tell kids, remember, it's like you owe your mom $14, but you have 3. So you're paying your mom back the 3, right?
Yeah.
And now you still owe her what? 11. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Everybody good with that? All right, let's see if we can make it a little bit harder. Let's look at 4 now. All right, now I need everybody to look at this problem right here. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to tell me is we're going to add the fractions or subtract them?
Add.
We're going to add them because they're both what?
Negative.
They're both negative. All right, so we're going to have to add them. Now I need everybody to be careful. You have 8 and 6. What's the common denominator with 8 and 6?
24.
I like 48,
24.
but 24 is even better. All right, if you use 48, are you going to get the right answer? Yes. All right, just going to have to reduce at the end. All right, so let's talk about this. Now, in my opinion, negative 7. So let's do 24ths. Now, at this stage of the game, guys, you should be getting better at, just telling me 3/8 is how many 24ths? 3/8 is how many 24ths? 9, right? Because you're right, we're multiplying by 3, right? So if we're multiplying by 3, that gives me negative 7 and 9/24. Reese, you still good with me? Huh?
Yeah.
You good? Okay. Now, and then it would be minus 4. 1/6 is how many 24ths? Is it 3/24? Is it 8/24? Or is it 4/24? What is it? 4. Come on, girls. Speak up now. Girls, you all right? Girls? All right. Here we go. So now we got 4 over 24. Now this is what we talked about earlier now. You have to remember, am I adding them or am I subtracting them?
Adding.
You're adding them, correct?
Yeah.
So what's 7 plus 4?
11.
So that'd be negative 11, 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4, 13. So the answer is negative 11 and 13 over 24. Right? And again, make yourself a check. If you think you completely understand that, give yourself a check. If you think you need to go back and review, you should put a little star by it. All right? You're making yourself notes as you go. All right? And tomorrow when you have your little open note quiz, I'm going to let you look at this worksheet and say, okay, if you forgot how to do it, look back at your notes. And you can kind of help yourself. That makes sense? What we're doing. Very good notes. Take very good notes today. All right, now let's look at question number 5. All right, first of all, are we going to add them or are we going to subtract them? We're definitely adding. All right, now let's let the girls do this. Girls, what's the common denominator? 18. Everybody happy with 18? Jesse?
Yeah.
You good? Anybody else having trouble with 18? Common denominator. All right, so now 12. Let's let the girls respond. 7/9 girls is what? How many 18ths? 14 over 18. Is everybody happy with that? All right, so let's put 14 over 18 down. And now I have 5/6. Girls?
15.
Yes, good job, girls. Come on. Everybody give it a shot now. Don't be shy, even if it's wrong. You got a question?
Yes.
What?
Could you reduce 14 and 18 before you?
No, the reason why you can't do that is because then you won't have common denominators.
Oh.
Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, now when you add these together, girls, what's my final answer when we add these together?
15.
Wait, no. Before that, though, you're right. 14 and 29 over 18. Remember that? All right. Now it's a matter of what? We're taking 29 over 18, right? And how many times is 18 going to 29? 1. So that means instead of 14, you have what?
15.
That means you have 15. And from 18 to 29 is how many? 11. Now listen to me, guys. I hope you understand what I'm saying. There's nothing I can do if you're not raising your hand saying, help me out a little bit. Boys in the back, you guys okay?
Yeah.
Everybody? All right. Connor, you doing well?
Yeah.
All right.
So all you do to get 15, 11, 18 is you subtract 29 and 18.
Well, yes, that's one way of doing, but technically what I did was I divided. I said, how many times is 18 going to 29? That could be what? 1 time, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then
I get that. It's just.
and then you subtracted.
Yeah. Okay.
29 minus 18. All right. All right, let's take a question number 6. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we got a really nice problem here. Really nice. All right, let's let the boys talk about this, boys. What's common denominator?
20.
Now, are we adding or subtracting? Is everybody with me? We're subtracting, right? So 1/4 is how many 20ths?
What?
How many? 5 20ths. Everybody happy with that? So I have 9 and 5 over 20 minus, and 4/5 would be how many 20ths?
16.
16. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
So I have minus 1 and 16 20ths. Now I have a big problem. I have a big problem here. You need to highlight. Why is there a problem?
Was it 1 or 2?
Oh, is it 2? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Besides that, that wasn't my problem. All right. What is my real problem here, boys? What do you think it is?
That is 5 minus 16.
Yeah, we have to borrow. Is everybody with me on this?
Yeah.
Right? Does everybody remember that? Now, this is going way back. So think about it now. I have to borrow from the 9. If I borrow from the 9, I cross that out and make it a what?
8.
Now, who remembers what I do with the numerator and denominator? Well, I'm adding 1. So do you remember what I did? Yes. Listen to me. It's not a 15. I want everybody to make sure you make yourself a note here. What do you do to the 5 and the 20? You add them together. So the 5 becomes a what? 25. All right? Make yourself a note. Do you remember that, Reese? Yeah, make yourself a note. When you're subtracting, when you borrow, you add the numerator and denominator because you're technically adding 1. So 1 plus 15 or 5/20ths becomes 25/20ths. Is everybody happy with that? Again, make yourself a note. All right? When you're doing your subtraction, if you need to borrow, you're going to add the numerator and the denominator. All right? Now we can go ahead and do the subtraction. All right, what's 8 minus 2? 6. What's 25 minus 16? 9. Thank you. So we have 6 and 9/20ths. 6 and 9/20ths. All right. Here we go. Let's check out number 7. Now we're in what? Now we're in a multiplication. Is everybody with me on this? Now, does everybody remember we have to cross cancel, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, girls, somebody volunteer. What can I reduce? Yes, ma'am. Yes, and the 10 and the 2 becomes a what? That's correct. And now what else did you say? Yes, very good. Now, is your final answer here going to be negative or positive?
Negative.
Girls, you're right. Negative? Right? So your final answer is negative what? 3 over 5. Because you're multiplying, don't forget. You're multiplying. Multiply numerators together, multiply denominators together. Is everybody happy with that?
Wait. Oh.
All right, now we have a little problem with number 8, boys. Tell me what the problem is with number 8. Yes, sir.
That whole number.
Yes, we have to convert this mixed fraction into an improper fraction. All right? So to convert that over, yes, thank you so much. 27 over 14, and don't forget it's negative, times negative 7 over 12. So a negative times a negative is automatically a what?
Positive.
So when I was doing this, I went ahead and just changed these both to positive so I wouldn't make a mistake. Everybody good with that?
Mhm.
All right. Now, boys, what can I reduce? Tell me. Go ahead. 7 and 14 goes what? Yes. And then go ahead with 27 and 12. What can I reduce that by?
3.
Yep. So that becomes a, and so your final answer is, wait a minute. Shh, let him do it.
Oh, it's 9 over.
There you go. 9 over 8. Everybody happy with that? Now, again, do you remember when I said multiplication, you can leave it? Is everybody happy with that? Right? Multiplication is one where it's you can leave it. All right? But everybody here should be able to look at 9/8 and just say that's what?
1 and 1/8.
You should be able to say 1 and 1/8 without much hesitation. Is everybody good with that? But remember, when you're multiplying, you can leave it as an improper fraction. Is everybody happy? All right. All right, here we go. Let's check out number 9. All right, so for question number 9, we have 2 problems here. The main one is that we have both of them as mixed fractions. So let's convert those to improper fractions. So 2 and 2/5 converts to what, please? 12 over, nice, times 25 over 8. I'm liking that. All right. All right, Jesse, what can reduce?
5 and 25 and 5 can reduce 1, 5.
Beautiful.
And then 12 and 8 can reduce.
Uh-huh.
And you can do, you can divide that by 2 to 6 and then 4.
Okay, can you reduce 6 and 4 to?
Yes, and then you can do it again and then be 3.
Beautiful. So your final answer is?
15.
Awesome work, girl. Now, everybody could have said, well, 12 and 8, we could divide it by 4, right? But do you see it doesn't matter? Does everybody agree with me? All right. All right, I'm happy with you guys. 15 over 2. 15 over 2. Everybody good? All right, let's continue on. Move forward. Uh-oh, now we have a division. Now, a negative divided by a positive is a what? Negative. So right off the bat, guys, I want you to put in the habit, put the negative in. Does everybody agree with that? That way you don't make a mistake at the end. Now, how do you undo or how do you solve a division? Yes, change division to what? Multiplication, and you take the reciprocal. So this is negative 6/7 times 49 over 12. All right? And now, Max, what can reduce here?
The 7 and the 49.
Which becomes a
And
what?
The 6 and the 12.
Which becomes a
1 over 7.
and.
And 1 over 2.
So your final answer is?
7 over 2.
You're awesome, buddy.
Negative 7 over 2.
Yep, you're awesome. Negative 7 over 2. Yes. All right, girls, you're up. Let's take a look at number 11. Oh, all right, so this is kind of obnoxious. We just have to convert everything to improper fraction. So let's let Julia tell me what 1 7/8. Well, first of all, a negative times a negative is a positive, right, girls? So right off the bat, I can just eliminate the negatives, right? Is everybody good? All right, Julia, 1 7/8 is how much? You're awesome, girl. 15 over 8. And then you're awesome. 25 over 24. Beautiful. Now we're not yet, because we had to convert them first, correct? And now, Julia, walk me through what am I doing next? So we say 15 over 8, change division to multiplication, and then what do I do? Wait a minute, what do I have to do to the other fraction? Yep, flip it over, reciprocal, 24 over 15. All right, now, you want to go through the reducing with me? What do I have to do? Yeah, that's a nice one. Nice, easy one. All right, perfect. 1 and 1. Now what goes into 8 and 24? Beautiful. 8 goes into 8 how many times? 8 goes in, yes, you're right. No, you're right. 8 goes into 24 3 times, and 8 goes into 8 once. Yeah, 3 over 1, which is the same as 3. Very nice. Very nice. All right, remember now what I'm telling you guys. Listen to me. If you're having some issues, now's the time to let me know. I don't think this is that hard. All right, here we go. Let's check out 12. Let's go back to the boys. All right, 3 1/8.
Okay.
Julian, what do I have to change that to?
What number?
I'm on number 12. 3 1/8. What do I change that to?
3 1 8. I got 25 over 8.
You're awesome. 25 over 8. Now division becomes,
Multiplication.
and then,
Reciprocal 4 over 15.
beautiful. What can reduce?
You can reduce 4 and 8. You can do that 4 with 1 and 2.
And then,
And then 25 and 15. You can do that by 5.
Yep.
5 and 3. So it'd be 5 over 6.
you're awesome. Perfect. 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 5, 6. I think that's pretty easy. All right. How's your? Is that cool? I like the way you're at. The new. Yeah, the stylus are really nice. All right, here we go. 13. All right. Let me have Miss Weekly. You do 13. What do I have to change? Exactly. Beautiful. Now what can I reduce? Good. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I don't know.
So your final answer. Yes, very nice. Good job. I agree. Easy. Connor, you're up. 14. Now, we should make Connor 6 over what?
6 over 1.
Beautiful work. All right, so now what?
You put it's 1 over 6.
There you go, man. Good job. 3/7 times the reciprocal.
And then you have to make the 3 1 and the 6 2.
Final answer.
1 over 14.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. All right. Here we go. 10 2/3. I need to convert 10 2/3 to Reese. What?
And proper fraction.
Yes, go ahead.
So 3 times 10
Yes, sir.
is 30 plus 2 is 32 over 3.
Very nice work. 32 over 3 times.
9 over 7.
Good. 9 over 7. All right. Now what?
You do the reciprocal.
No, no.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. So all you have to do is
You
reduce.
can reduce 3 and 9.
Yes.
The 3 would be from 1 and the 9 would be from 3.
Nice work. So now what's 3 times 32? Bless you. 3 times 3. Bless you.
8.
No, listen to me. 3 times 3.
9.
3 times 2.
6.
96. And then, of course, 1 times 7.
7.
There you go, guys. Because you're multiplying, can we leave it as an improper fraction?
Yes.
Yes. All right, is everybody happy with that explanation? Reese, you good? All right, let's take a look at something else now. Let's take a look at 16. Uh-oh. Negative divided by a positive is always a negative. Good. All right, Madeline, you're up. Tell me about 16. What do I do?
So you have to do the reciprocal.
Very good. Times what? What's the reciprocal?
7 over 3.
Beautiful work. Now what can I reduce?
14 and 7.
Yep. What is that?
1 and 2.
Beautiful. And then? Yep. So my final answer is? Yes. -1/2. All right, guys, I'm feeling pretty good about this. All right, Sebastian, you're up, buddy.
Oh, me.
Tell me about 17.
Okay, so it's
Now, first of all, are we going to add them or subtract them?
subtract.
All right, now we're going to subtract them. So listen to my opinion. All right, the best way to do this is to make sure that the larger fraction goes on top. And what I mean by that is the 3 is larger than the 1, so I want the 3 on the top. All right, so we're going to do -3 1/2 plus 1 3/4. If you don't do it this way, you're going to make a mistake. So these are another ones that I would argue, or I'd ask you to please highlight this one because it's a little bit harder. All right, it's a little bit harder. All right.
So,
Now, what's common denominator? Right, so 1/2 is the same as what? All right, now we have a problem here because we're going to do what to these? Subtract them. Listen carefully, we got to subtract them. Now, is our final answer going to be positive or negative, Sebastian? Negative. Now, can I do 2 minus 3? I don't want you to tell me it's -1. I want you to tell me you have to do what? You have to borrow. Listen to me, you have to borrow on this. So the 3 becomes a what? The 3 becomes a 2. Now, what do we do with the numerator and denominator again? You add them. So Sebastian, that 2 becomes a what? Why is it a 6, Sebastian? That's what I'm saying. I want you to make 100 tomorrow. You add, whenever you borrow, you add the numerator and the denominator. Because really what you're doing is you're saying, what's 1 plus 2/4? Well, that's 1 and 2/4, which is the same as 6/4. So a shortcut is to add the numerator and the denominator. All right? So this becomes a 6/4. Now when you subtract, what's 2 minus 1? 6 minus 3. So your answer, -1 and 3/4. That's a pretty tricky one. Pretty tricky now. Everybody happy? You understand that? All right. Here we go. Let's take a look at 18. Oh, this one now, I tried to be a little bit fancy here. What's the common denominator here with 12, 8, and 4? Connor, do you know? Yes, good work, buddy. 24. So everybody make a fraction with 24. And again, you can see how easy this is. So 7/12 is the same as how many 24ths? Yep, so the numerator becomes a, yes sir, good job. Multiplied by 2. What's the next fraction? Which makes it a, and then? Yep, so that's what? Beautiful. Now, what's 14 minus 9? Shh. What's 5 plus 18? Yes, sir. That's nice work right there, buddy. 23 over 24. Is everybody happy with that? Don't be confused just because there's 3 fractions now. All right. Uh-oh. I try to get a little fancy on you here, guys. Eyes up. We got a little algebra now. Let's see how we're doing with the algebra. What do I have to do? Go ahead, tell me. Well, you're going to look at the fractions, right? And treat the fractions exactly the same way. So what can I reduce?
You can reduce 2 and 6.
Right? That becomes a,
The 2 becomes a 1 and the 6 becomes a 3.
now what? Can you see where we can reduce something else just with the numbers?
Reduce
Yes.
the W.
Well, not yet. I want you to reduce the 3's. Remember, you can reduce them up and down vertically. All right? So how many times does 3 go into 3? There you go. Now let's strictly look at the fraction, just the number. So what would the fraction be? Don't even worry about the... Yes. All right? So if you know your answer is 1/5, that's half the problem. Yes. Well, because remember, if I said this, if I said to you, what is 3 divided by 3? You see why now, right? We divided both of these by 3. You and me now, right? That's okay. All right? Now, whenever there's a variable on the top and a variable on the bottom, they can do what to each other? Cancel each other out. That's right. They can cancel each other out. So, what can I do with this W and this W? What else can cancel?
X and X.
The X and the X. So your answer is? Yes, 1y over 5z. 1y over 5z. Everybody happy with that explanation? That wasn't too bad. All right, let's take a look at 20. Uh-oh, we have division, so right off the bat, we have to change it to multiply by the reciprocal. So let's do that. 5ab over 3c times 9cd over 10a equals. Now, again, my opinion, I think it's easier to always look at the numbers and try to reduce the numbers first. All right, Max, what numbers can I reduce here?
A.
No, not, that's a letter. I want to do the numbers first.
The numbers, all of them. 3 reduces to 1 and 9 reduces to 3.
Good job.
10 reduces to 2 and 5 reduces to 1.
Amazing. So your final fraction is?
3
Over?
over 2.
Perfect. That's exactly how I want you to do it to start out with. Reduce the number first. Just do the numbers. Now, Max, what can I cross out?
You cross out A and C.
Yes. Very nice. So your final answer is left with a what?
3, B, D.
There you go. Very nice work, buddy. Very nice. That's not that hard, guys. Everybody happy with that? Yeah, that's not bad. All right, let's check out 21. 5/8. Remember what the decimal for 5/8 was?
0.625.
You're awesome, girl. Pat yourself on the back. That's really, really smart. 0.625. Let's say just for some crazy reason we forgot, you just divide. So let's just practice that just to make sure. How many times is 8 going to 50? 6 times. We're left with 20. 8 goes into 20 2 times. And then we have 40. 8 goes into 40 5 times. Everybody see that, right? All right, but again, those are the things I would want you to know. All right, just like I would want everybody to know 7/9 is the same as what decimal?
0.7.
Yes, make sure you put 0.7 with a bar on the top. 0.7 repeating. Again, that should be pretty easy for you because if you forget, you just divide it out and you see it's 0.7 repeating. All right, now let's take a look at 23. I don't expect you to know what 5/6 is. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to say -3 point, and then we're going to come up here and do this. How many times does 6 go into 50, guys? 8. How many times does 6 go into 20? 3. Uh-oh. Now it's doing what? Right. So now you have to make sure you write this properly. 0.83 with a bar over just the what?
The 3.
Yes, just the 3. -3.83 repeating. Everybody happy with that? Again, guys, that's not hard. All right. Now, 0.125. I was one of the fractions you should know. 1/8. Very nice. 1/8. Now, of course, if you forgot that, you could just do 125 over 1,000, right? And then reduce that. All right, but of course, that's not what I want. I want everybody in here to be able to tell me that 0.125 is 1/8. Everybody good with that information?
Oh, wait. So if you didn't do that, how would you?
You just reduce it by 5, then reduce it by 5, then reduce it by 5.
Oh.
You with me now, right? All right, you're welcome. Of course, everybody here knows that 0.5 is 5/10, which is reduced to 1/2. All right, so now this would be -3 and 95 over 100. Is everybody good with that? Everybody happy with that?
Oh,
Yes.
And then 95 over 100 can reduce by what?
5.
Yes, divide by 5. And that would be -3, 19 over 20.
Yay!
And again, what I'm telling you, it's time to speak up now if you're not sure about something. Any questions? Any questions? All right, let's move forward now. We're almost done. All right. Now, we know that 7/9 is what?
0.7.
0.7 repeated. So, which one? Now, again, I want to highlight this right here. The next number would be a what? 7, right? Is everybody with me? So now, listen carefully, please. We're comparing the second number, 7 and 8. So most people think that it's this answer, but it's not, correct? Because you want the further down on the number line to the left, the smaller you are. Did everybody understand what I just said? So the answer is not this, but the answer would be what? This. -7/9 is greater, right? Because look, these are both negative numbers. Since they're both negative numbers, the more negative, the smaller you are. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's look at 28. Now, on question 28, to me, the ones are the same. Do you agree? So really the only thing I'm comparing are the fractions. Now I would want you to look at this and say common denominator is 20. Does everybody agree with that? So 3/5 is the same as how many 20ths? Good. 12 20ths. So now I'm comparing 12 20ths to what? 11 20ths. So that one's greater than also. All right. Let's take a look at the next one. Uh-oh. -1 is less than, exactly. All right, the more negative, the smaller you are. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. And that looks like it, guys. All right, that was an excellent job. That's perfect timing. All right, remember tonight, just review these notes. Tomorrow you have open book. I'll make like 25 problems. You should ace everything. All right, good job today, guys.
No, I think I'm okay.